Hello, I'm BrigantiaBlackbird of BlackbirdsBrew. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to Pagan Problems. Today we're talking about coming out of the broom closet. Oh yes, we are going there. Now, there was such a time when there was no such thing as being a pagan in public. People had legitimate fears for their physical well-being, their livelihoods, and even their ability to retain custody of their children if their convictions were made public knowledge. But that is no longer the world we live in. It is time to come out of the closet and claim our space in the sunlight. If we are going to have a society in which freedom of religion is more than just ink on paper, then we have to exercise our freedoms. Now, this doesn't require that we become an obnoxious nuisance to all and sundry. There's more than enough people acting like that as it is. But it does mean that we stop disguising ourselves, stop hiding away. We have nothing to be ashamed of. It means that if someone asks us what our religion is, we just provide them a straightforward answer, and to do so in kind of a casual, if not even a blasé manner. It shouldn't be any more extraordinary to announce that one is pagan than it is to declare that someone is a Methodist. If we don't treat the information like a big deal that's going to shock people, then more often than not, it isn't a big deal, and the person we're talking to sees us first as a person and only secondly as our religious label. Now, the biggest hurdle to this is often our own anxiety and us projecting our fears onto the outside world and clinging to the false belief that those fears actually originate from the outside world instead of our own nerves. And I hate to be the one to admit this. It really goes against the grain for a Leo, but I just don't believe that anyone is as interested in our lives and choices as what we imagine them to be. Maybe your mom, maybe, but by and large, not so much. In the face of social media, where people are actively looking for and cultivating drama, I realize it doesn't always feel like people are indifferent and don't actually care. But despite how public our lives have become, I'm just not convinced that many people particularly care one way or the other, provided that we aren't interfering with their lives and their choices. I just think more and more people are just completely self-absorbed, and they're not going to take time out of their day to notice us because that would take them away from the mirror and their selfies. Now, this lessens any sense of risk we might experience. And as for adverse reactions we might get from our relatives, if someone makes an issue, then maybe it's time to bring a few skeletons out of the family cupboard and make them dance for a spell. Let the relatives know that they too are not above criticism or review. And if they would like to have peaceful relations, then they must be willing to give us peace in return. It is very, very rare that it's going to lead to a complete severing of family ties. The fact that it did in my case has more to do with my relatives, by and large, are Jehovah's Witnesses. They have a spiritual obligation to do so. But for most families, that's not the dynamic you have going on. So it probably won't be as bad as what you think. It may also help to reflect on pagan virtues, things like honor, integrity, and courage. They were greatly prized by most pagan cultures. And hiding away out of fear is just not consistent with those virtues. And I don't say this to shame anyone, only to encourage people to actually live in accordance with the ideas they cherish. Life is too short to bend the knee to people who are meddling in personal decisions, as particularly when those are personal decisions they have no right to meddle in. And pagan cultures also understood the need for boundaries. Having boundaries, respecting the boundaries of others, it's a two-way street or it's nothing at all. You probably wouldn't dream of trying to dictate someone else's spiritual choices. So why should you tolerate anyone seeking to interfere with yours? Getting out of the closet makes it easier for you to find and gather with your spiritual community. You won't have to look over your shoulder or worry if anyone you know is seeing you associating with pagans. You can relax. You can just be. And honestly, coming out of the broom closet could possibly be the biggest favor you ever do for yourself. So things to think about and keep in mind. Agree, disagree, somewhere in between. You can yell at me in the comments section, or you could go to our description box, click on the link to Gilded. Our server is called BlackbirdsBrew. You'd be very welcome to come there, and especially if you're looking for further advice on how to come out of the closet without losing your mind. There's a wide variety of people you can consult about that, so it may just be the help you've been looking for all this time. So I hope to see you soon, but for this video, that'll do it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye.